Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, continuing with some sunshine this morning and some comfortable conditions. Seeing our temperature right around 80 degrees, low humidity, seeing a continuation of some onshore breeze today, and that will be the case as we move through today. And we'll see fairly comfortable temperatures as we move through the next 2 days with a return of heat and humidity as we get into the weekend and some rain chances possible as well. Taking a look at the current surface analysis, we have high pressure centered over the northeast, branching down into the local area, helping to keep things fairly stable locally with very minimal chances of any precipitation locally here at Wallops, and that high pressure also helping to keep that onshore flow in effect as we move through the day today. Take a look at our current surface analysis, or excuse me, our current visible satellite. You can see little in the way of clouds at this time over the local area. Do expect some additional cloud cover to build in as we see some daytime heating later on in the day. Otherwise, just some clouds off the coast associated with a few light showers tracking westward, but expect those to remain weak and possibly dissipate as they move towards the shoreline here, with the exception of maybe just seeing a possible light shower, light sprinkle, but that expected to stay well north of the area if that was to occur. Overall, should see dry and quiet conditions as we move through our day today. We look at our upper level winds from this morning, sounding very light winds through the column this morning up to 25,000 feet, seeing the peak wind at 13 knots, and that's going to allow some variability in the flow as we can see some changing in directions, a bit more onshore in the low levels and then a bit more northwesterly to westerly and a bit variable as we get into the upper levels here. Our freezing level today is at 15,700 feet. We'll look at the latest high-res model, see what we can expect for the next 2 days. Again, as mentioned, we'll see some additional cloud cover as we move later in the day today. We get that daytime heating, similar to what we saw yesterday, seeing some scattered clouds, a chance of seeing a ceiling, but likely see that cloud cover push inland like we did yesterday. And going into the later part of the afternoon, we can see the model indicating some light reflectivity up west of Salisbury. So that's about the extent of precipitation around the region that we can anticipate. Similar to what we saw yesterday, a few light showers trying to initiate, fairly short-lived and on the light side and not in the local Wallops area. So persistence with a similar forecast as we move through the day today. Going into the evening time frame, we'll see things clearing up. Once again, we'll see those winds shifting more southeasterly through the overnight into Thursday. So still an onshore flow, but a bit more southeasterly to southerly as we move through the day. Once again, we'll see some partly cloudy conditions through the day and looking dry as well through Thursday, with a continuation of the lower humidity values, keeping things fairly comfortable as we move towards the end of our work week. We zoom out here, look at our Friday. Friday, we'll see winds shifting more south to southwesterly. It's going to bring in a return of some heat and humidity into the area, seeing those temperatures climbing back into the 90s and those heat index values likely getting into the upper 90s, possibly hitting the triple digits during the afternoon time. It does bring back a possibility of a pop-up shower or storm, but right now does not look likely at this time for Friday, with boundary approaching the area from the north, and it does look like most of that activity will dissipate as we go into the evening time frame. As you can see here, the European model pretty much fizzles out much of that activity as it approaches the area. So very low end chance we see an isolated shower or storm possibly remaining and trying to push through the area, but overall things looking mainly dry as we move through Friday and overnight into Saturday. Getting into Saturday, we'll continue with the hot and humid conditions, and as you'll see here, that's when we'll see better conditions for an afternoon pop-up shower or thunderstorm, with the European model indicating that possibility here with some precip over the region. And we'll see that once again phase out as we go into the evening and lose some of that instability during the overnight time frame. And then going into Sunday, it does look like we could see a weak boundary moving into the area. That's going to bring the better chance for some showers and thunderstorms and a bit more widespread in nature if that boundary is able to hold together and push through the area during the mainly afternoon and evening time frame on Sunday. Going into Monday, it looks like just a minimal chance of a pop-up shower or storm during the afternoon, as we'll continue to see some fairly hot and fairly humid conditions for Monday into Tuesday, but generally a bit less in the way of precipitation or lightning, with just looking to see that daily chance of a pop-up shower or storm, as we often see as we get in these hot and humid regimes over the area. And things looking fairly quiet through the midweek, and possibly another boundary approaching the area as we get through the mid to later portion of the week. So looking at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, expecting green conditions over the next 24 hours. We'll see easterly wind as we move through the day today, 7 to 12 knots. Could see a few peaks up around 17 knots with our high temperature climbing up to around 83 degrees. So very comfortable for this time of year, and seeing partly cloudy conditions. Again, chance we'll see a ceiling around 3,500 feet, but likely seeing those clouds pushing inland as we move through the afternoon hours. Going into the evening, we'll keep a few clouds, scattered to a few clouds around. Going through the overnight time frame, we'll see those winds weakening, becoming more southeasterly as we move through the early morning hours of Thursday, and seeing our low temperature fall to 70 degrees for our Thursday morning. Tides are running half a foot to a foot above normal. And the extended forecast here, we'll see a fairly similar day for Thursday, looking dry and fairly comfortable. Winds more southeasterly, high around 85 degrees. Heat and humidity, as mentioned, returns on Friday, looking at a high temperature around 92 degrees. Could see those heat index values up in the upper 90s, possibly hitting 100. Overall, though, partly cloudy and dry, just a 10% chance of an evening shower or storm pushing through if something is able to hold together, but I'm going to lose some of that energy with the sun setting on it going into that evening time frame. We keep into the 90s on Saturday. Better chance of a pop-up shower or storm, looking at about a 25% chance for Saturday afternoon. Continue hot and humid conditions. Staying fairly hot as we go into Sunday, but a bit more in the way of cloud cover, going to keep temperatures right at or just below 90 degrees. Better chance for some showers and thunderstorms again, with that boundary looking to push through the area, increasing to a 50% chance of a shower or storm here at Wallops as we move through our Sunday. And then back down to a daily chance of a slight chance of a pop-up shower or storm, looking at about 15% chance on Monday, possibly some lingering clouds around, and keeping temperatures in the upper 80s and back into the 90s with some more sun on Tuesday with partly cloudy conditions. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.